I looked over the fence, which is just outside the studio where we've been doing our artwork together. And I saw this great big auger, which is a 20-metre corkscrew thing, and they were drilling into the ground. And I thought, this looks amazing. The clay that was coming out of it was extraordinary. So me and my little girl went round to the building site, and we asked the foreman if we could have some just to play with, because we've been doing quite a lot of modelling anyway. And then I thought, there's something in this. I want to know more about this clay that's just literally over the fence from us. It's bluey, black stickiness. You know, it was just so interesting. And then I started on the sort of looking at the maps and trying to work out where it went through Oxfordshire on the geological maps, and looking up all sorts of data about it. And that's the sort of landscapey approach. That's my sort of landscape architect in me.
What about the pottery? Is that something that you've done for a long time as well, or was it just something you experimented because you saw the clay?
It's a nice, the nice background to that, in that my mum is a potter. She's been a potter for, all her life really, 60 years. So I've always been on sort of the edge of that. And she lent me this absolute classic book of hers by a guy called Frank Hamer, who she used to know, a real classic of its time, called the Potter's Dictionary. And I started reading these wonderful sort of terse little descriptions, little entries about the clay and how it was formed. And that was what gave me the idea to do the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Of those, descriptions. So then we had a little chat about firing, and she said, well, you could maybe you might get it up to the right temperature in the bonfire, but without a kiln, I don't know if you'll be able to do it. So we've got a chimney at home, the sort of thing that you burn log stuff. But I thought, I wonder if I could get that hot enough to actually fire some little pots at the end of it. And so I did. And that's obviously there's the firing at the end. And that was the first time I've ever done anything like that. It's the clay and the fire. But that black bit there, that doesn't come off, that's fired in.
Yeah.
So that's actually carbonised in. The rest is what's in the clay. I mean, I did sieve it in the end to try and make it more usable. And it's got little pebbles and stuff, bits of texture. The funniest thing, which I wish I'd got on film, was I showed them to my mum a few days later, and she licked her finger and put her spit onto the pot. And you can tell how absorbent it is. So, yeah, that's pretty much biscuit fire, she said.
Yeah.
And that's the knowledge of a 60-year potter.
Yeah.
So that was lovely to see that.